what is the process, and how you can configure the like see what is the procedure to understand to learn the cloud. Like first of all, you need to go through the Linux basics, and then you have to go through the AWS, and then finally the DevOps. These are the things which I have said. And first and foremost, so whenever we are discussing about the cloud configuration, or else whenever we want to create any server in the cloud, so creating the server in the sense why we need to create the server, what happens. So if you are creating a server in the on-premises, what are the steps that you will take to create a server? First one is, first of all, we need to select the server and capacity. Server and server capacity. It is purely AWS sessions, guys. Need to select the server and server capacity in the on-premises whenever you are creating this. Okay, server and server capacity. And the second one is need to install the operating system. And the third one is need to connect to the network. And the fourth one is need to what I can say here is need to access or else create the environment. And the fifth one is need to provide the security. And the sixth one is need to monitor the storage. So these are all the things that we have to do. These are all the things that we have to do for creating or else for making the application available for the end users. But when you go to the cloud, let me show you one thing. I will go to my AWS account. See here how fast I am going to set up the AWS server, and I will make you available of this. I will go to the EC2 instances. I'm just showing you how we are going to do that. Launch the instance. This is my web app. My web app. I will select the Windows operating system. You have to select the operating system here. Now what I will do, T2 micro is fine, and then select an existing security group. Okay, and then I will go to the advanced details. You will come to know about all these things. Don't worry about that. So I'm just showing you what I can do with the cloud. So why majority number of the companies are going with the cloud. Here you can see, if at all, if we are in the on-premises environment, we have to do all these things. But right now we are in the cloud environment. What we can do here is apt update, apt, or else what I can do, curl-s http://get.docker.com bash and launch the instance. Simply the server is created. Once the server is created, what I can do here, I will tell you how to create the server and all things. I will tell you, don't worry about that. Once the server is created, let me access the server. How to access the server also I will tell you. Slowly we will go with one after the other. Right now we don't have any rush to complete the subject right away. Okay, within 15 days we don't have to complete the subject. There are 50 days in our hand where we can complete the subject in the step-by-step manner. First of all, we will go with the networking concepts, and then we will be going with the EC2 concept, and then we will be going with the IAM concept, and then we will be going with the containerization concepts, and then we will be going with the S3 buckets, and then RDS configuration, CloudWatch and CloudFormation, Terraform. So we will be going very slowly. You don't need to worry that we are in a rush. Okay, so open it. Now I am able to access my server. Okay, sudo su hyphen done. So what I can do here is, hold on. I just want to check Still Docker is getting installed. Hold on. What I can do here is let it come. So we have simply installed the server. Within 2 minutes, I just install the server, and within 2 minutes, I can create my application and I can provide the access to the entire users. So hold on. Done. Docker PS is done. Docker run -rm -itd -name web app -p -p. What I can do here is 80:80. Don't worry about that. You will learn about these configuration in the upcoming classes. Okay, what I'm doing, you don't need to worry about this. Or else I will go with version 1. Done. Now what is going to happen here? Okay. Docker PS, right? Now here you can see, let me copy the public DNS, and when I provide it over here, I'm going to get my, see that, I'm going to get my accessibility. Okay. So within a short span of time, I'm able to create the server. And not only that, what I can do here is, what I can do here, let me copy the public IP address. I will go back to my route. What you are going to learn about all these things, route 53 and all the things. Don't worry. Okay. Create a record. www. The address. Define a simple record and create record. Done. Now simply what I can do, what is your website? My website is www.great-learning.xyz. You can also access this. I am providing this data in your, what I can say, in your chat box. Try to access the URL. I just provided the URL on your chat box. Try to access the URL and tell me whether are you able to access this or not. Are you able to access the website? Guys, are you able to access the website? I just gave you the website link on your subnet on the chat box. Just you need to click on that. Are you getting the website or not? Guys, yes or no?
Yes.
Oh God, thanks. So you are able to access the website. So how much time it took to access that website? How much time it took to access the website, or also how much time it took to create that website?
Within minutes.
Within minutes, we are able to access that. Within minutes, we are able to create that website. Within minutes, we can configure the website. So that is the reason. If you see here in the on-premises, for selecting the server, for purchasing the server, for installing the operating system and connecting that to the network and providing the accessibility to the users. So how much time it is going to take whenever you are working in the on-premises environment? But whenever we are working in the cloud environment, how much time it is taking? So you can find out the difference. Okay. So that is the main reason why we are going for the cloud computing, why we are going into the cloud. Not only this, it is very easy for me to access the cloud computing. And the next thing what I can do here is, if I want to increase, suppose the load on my application is very, very high. For example, just now I have created an application. Right now, this application is running on my server. For example, if the load on the server is very high, now what I can do to overcome this load, what I can do here is I can go further into the configuration. I can go further into the increasing the load balance, load capacity. I can increase, I can do the load balancing. So within minutes, I can configure all these things. Within a snap of finger, I can configure all these things. So that is the reason why we are going for the cloud computing. That is the reason why majorly the companies are looking for the cloud computing. So in the cloud computing, we are having different types of services, not only a single service, we are having multiple services. You will come to know about all those services in the next class, in the upcoming classes. But the majority of the thing, what you need to understand here is the first and foremost sessions will be linked up with the networking concepts. First and foremost sessions will be linked up with the networking concept. We will go into the cloud concept, but right now, the first thing what you need to understand here is if you want to create the servers, if you want to run the servers, first of all, what you need to understand here is you need to have a basic understanding about the networking concepts. If you understand the network concept, then we can be very easily creating the servers. Why? Because the entire servers here, if you want to connect to the servers, you need to access the IP address. So if you want to get the accessibility of the websites, then you need to provide the IP address. So if you want to communicate with the server, see here, I will communicate with the server. Ping, I will just provide the IP address. So I am able to communicate with the servers for communication, for accessibility, for each and everything. Why? Because all these components are not created beside me or behind me. So these servers are created in a distinct location, in a separate location, in a remote location. So to connect to those servers, to access those servers, we need to have a basic understanding about the IP address, and networking concept. Without networking concept, you will not understand the AWS. You will not understand the creating the VPC. You will not understanding the VPC configurations. In VPC, especially if I have to discuss about the VPC, here we are having creating VPC. We are having the topics called as creating VPC, VPC peering, VPC NAT gateway, VPC endpoints, VPC VPN, VPC transit gateway. These are all comes under the networking concept only. If you don't understand the networking concepts, if you don't understand the what is meant by network, then you will not understand these concepts. To get focused on all these concepts, you need to have the basic understanding about the networking. Okay. So now can anybody tell me what is meant by a network? Any responses from you? What is meant by network? If you know, say the answer. If you don't know, say that also. Sir, I don't know what is meant by network. That will be very helpful for me. So what is meant by network?
Which connects different servers.
Okay, very good. At least you have tried. Which connects the different servers. Any another answers?
Network is a way to connect to one system to another system.
Very good. Way to connect to one system to the another system. Exactly what you mean is correct. Any another answers? Okay. So here, what is meant by network? A network is a connection between two or more devices. Here we are talking about devices. Here I am specifying the name called as devices. I am not specifying the computers, servers, and all the things. These are all comes under the devices only. Any two devices, for example, I am having a company. I am having a company, or else I am having an organization. This is my just when you go into the office, whenever you attend to the office, inside the office, you will have the computers. You will have the computers like this. I know that there are so many employees and who are freshers, they will also experience this. So there are so many computers. Now the point is, if one computer wants to communicate with another computer, then what should be happen here? We need to have a network connectivity. So that is what we call. Then we need to have a connectivity between the devices, connectivity between the computers, connectivity between the servers. Now, Here, one computer will be interconnected with the another computer. Here we will be using some devices. So this is called as a networking switch. In companies, you will see this. Hold on. Network switches. So this is how the switches will be looking like. Okay. So in your company also, I will make it as a D-Link. So this is how your switch will be looking like. Okay. So these are all the ports where all your computers will be connected. In the same manner, there will be a switch, and to this switch, the computers will be interconnected. Like this, all the computers will be connected. Now here, what is the point that you need to understand is, whenever we are connecting all our computers, so this is called as a network. So what I am saying, connecting one or more devices. Here I am connecting all the computers, one computer. So this is how all the computers are connected. This acts like a bridge. This acts as the networking switch acts like a bridge. Now here you can see the computers are interconnected with each other. So the devices are interconnected with each other. So this is called as a network. Now officially we can call it as a network. Now connectivity doesn't make anything. So now what I can call a network as connecting two or more devices with the help of, or else with the help of transmission media. Either it might be either wide or wireless signals. We can configure wide signals or wireless signals. That is called as a network. Now the data will be transmitted. Now the point what you need to understand here is, in network, the devices are of two types. The devices are of two types. Type 1 is node, and the next one is, we can call the device as node, or else we can call the device as a host. Suppose, for example, there is a computer. So this computer can be called as a node, and as well as it can be called as a host. It can also call as a host. But there is a switch. Just now I have shown you the switch. These switches can be called as only nodes. Okay, these switches are called as nodes. There are some switches called as unmanageable switches. These are called as nodes.
Sir, can computer act as a switch?
No.
So then how it goes under node?
We will discuss about that. Hold on. Okay. So now the first point is, what is meant by node? Node means any device which may or may not have an IP address. IP address can be there or cannot be there, then that is called as a node. So all the devices in the network are called as nodes. They can be called as nodes. Either it might be a computer, it might be a switch, it might be a router, it might be a hub, it might be somewhere like servers. Everything is called as a node. So that is the meaning. So what is meant by node? Any device which may or may not have an IP address. It can have IP, or else it cannot also have the IP address. Any device is called as a node. But what is meant by host? Devices that have IP addresses is called as host. The devices in the network, some devices will have the IP addresses, and some devices, majority number of the devices will have the IP addresses. One or two devices will not have the IP addresses, which means computers, definitely if the computers are there in the network, they need to have the IP address. Without IP address, communication won't be happening. The devices, there are some devices without the IP addresses also will be there. So those are switches. The switches don't require the IP addresses. Especially there are some unmanageable switches. Those switches doesn't require the IP address. Those are called as nodes. And computers are called as, they can be called, either they can call as nodes or else they can be called as a host. So what is the thing that you need to understand here is, any device in a network is called as a node, and the devices that are having the IP addresses are called as hosts. Now you got your answer for your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, when we come back to this, so if at all, if you see here in this diagram, so these computers are called as right now, these are called as nodes only. These are called as nodes only. Why they are calling it as nodes? Because we are not assigned with the IP address. We did not assign the IP addresses to the computer. So these are called as nodes only. This is a node, and this is also a node, and this is also a node. And this is the switch is especially called as a node only. Now the next point is, whenever we assign, now if you can see here whether the computers will communicate with each other, the point what you need to understand is, now you are having a mobile phone and your friend is also having a mobile phone. Both of you are having the mobile phones, and you are having the signals, and you are having recharge also. Everything is there. Now, can you communicate with each other? Can you
If we have a
communicate?
network, if we have a network, we can communicate.
That is what I said. You have the signals, you have the
Yes,
recharge
yes.
also. But if you don't have your friend's mobile number, did I mention the mobile number?
No.
If you don't have the friend's mobile number, then you cannot communicate. In the same manner, here you are having the computers. This is computer 1 and there is computer 2. Now, if computer 1 wants to communicate with computer 2, then definitely both computers must have the IP addresses. IP addresses are like logical addresses. So for any device, any networking device will have, especially some of the switches will not have this, but maximum number of the networking device will have two addresses. One is MAC address, media access control. We can call it as media access control. And the second one is IP address, internet protocol address. So this IP address is the only responsibility to make the communication. So what is the MAC address? So MAC address is like a name. For example, if you are what I can say, so you just you just joined into the school from 10th or from first class to 10th class. Your name will be, suppose I joined in a school, my name will be Chaitanya itself. If I join in the inter college, my name will be Chaitanya. If I join in the engineering college, same name. If I join in a company, same name. If I join in a very big organization, same name. If I fly to America, same name. If I fly to Andaman, same name. If I fly to anywhere, same name. So here my name will be constant. My name will be permanent until I die. Even after I die also, on the graveyard, my name will be Chaitanya only. So the name will be permanent. In the same manner, for the devices, MAC address will be the permanent address. It won't change. It is a unique address for your computers. Unique address for the devices. For any device, MAC address is the unique address. So let me go to the command line. So to check the MAC address, get MAC. If I give this command, hold on. If I give this command, the MAC address is going to be generated for my laptop. So this is my MAC address of my laptop. Okay. Anyways, so this MAC address will be permanent. So I don't want to expose my MAC address anyways. So this MAC address will be permanent for my laptops. Or else not only laptop, for your mobile phones also, you will have the MAC address, IP address. EMI number is different. MAC address and IP addresses are only for the networking concept. So there will be a MAC address for your mobiles. There will be a MAC address for your laptops. There will be a MAC address for your desktop. There will be the MAC address for any of the networking devices. If you take the router, for routers also you will have the MAC address. If you take the switches, for switches also you will have the MAC address. So MAC address is a permanent address which will be configured for each and every networking device. Now, when I go for the IP addresses, it is like roll number. It is a logical number. So actually, if you see, when you are in a class, whenever you are in the 10th class, so you will have a particular roll number. So anybody will call you, I want student number 2, student roll number 2. If anybody outside comes to your class and asks that, so I want a student of roll number 2, I want a student of roll number 5. So they will call you with your roll number, or else they will call you with the name also. No worries. But when you go to the intermediate, the roll number will be changed. If you go to some engineering, the roll number will be changed. If you go to the company, the employee ID is different. If you go to some big company, the employee ID will be different. So like that, depending on the network, depending upon the classes, the numbers, roll numbers will be keep on changing. Roll numbers or your identification numbers will be keep on changing. In the same manner, for example, you are in your home. Whenever you are in your home, there will be a particular IP address. When you go to the company, there will be a different IP address. When you go to some America location, there will be a different IP address. When you go to some another company or else another institute, the IP address will be different. So the IP addresses will be keep on changing for your devices. Wherever you are there, that network IP address will be assigned to your devices. Now the point what you need to understand here is what is meant by an IP address. What is meant by IP address? Before you understand what is IP address, up to now, is that clear whatever I have discussed? Any questions here? Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, the next point, what you need to understand here is before going into this, first of all, you need to understand what is this network, why we are going for this network configuration, who has established this, who are managing this network. So the first network which was introduced in the entire world is ARPA network. ARPANET is the first network. Okay. So it is especially created for the US military purpose, and later on it has been extended to the entire world. So networks are of two types. Networks are of two types. The first one is intranet, and the second one is internet. So can you tell me the difference between intranet and internet? Intra and inter.
Intranet may be self, like in one place, two people can access at a time, and intranet is something like many people can come together and access.
Exactly. So I hope that inter-college tournaments, you are very fond of crickets, right? So I mean, there are so many people who are who are very interested towards playing cricket. So in the childhood, we used to play cricket a lot, right? So there we have this word called as inter-college tournament, intra-college tournament. Inter-college means between the multiple colleges. Okay, intra means within the same college. Okay, so in the same manner, networks are of two types. One is intranet. Within the organization, for example, you are having your home network is there, then that is called as a local network, or I can call it as intra network. Okay, so you are having I'm not comparing it with LAN, WAN, and MAN. So local area network, wide area network. I'm just making this as a specific easy one. Local network within the organization. If at all, if you are having a company, inside the company, you are having a network, then that is called as a local network, or I can call it as an intranet. And when you go for a very big organization, there also you will have within the organization, whatever the network that you are having, that is called as an intranet. Now, if two organization has to communicate, if one organization has to communicate with multiple organizations, if one organization or else one computer has to communicate with multiple servers all around the world, then that is called as an internet. Communication between the different networks is called as internet. Now, so we are getting the internet. So you will say that we have internet connection. Internet connection is connecting to the multiple computers, multiple servers. Okay. So I will make it as wide network. So these are the two networks that we are having. So ARPA network has designed the network, and later on it has keep on increasing. And there are two types of networks. One is internet and the next one is intranet. And the next one is, first of all, you need to understand what is an IP address. So as the network is coming, they want to, first of all, the network or else the network was introduced in US military base. US military base. In the US military, they have introduced the internet or else network. So when they have implemented the network in the US military, so what they have understood, okay, to transmit the data, if you want to communicate or else if you want to call your friend, you need to have a mobile number. You need to have some telephone number. So to communicate with any another person, definitely you need to have a number. So the network people who has designed the network, they understood that, okay, to make the communication, we need to have a numbering system, and that numbering system is called as an IP address. So IP address is a 32-bit logical address. 32-bit logical address. So what the people who has designed the network has understand, okay, the computers will understand only binary language. So what is by binary language? How many numbers will be there in the binary language? How many numbers
Zero
will be
one,
there?
0 1, 0 and 1 2.
Binary means only 2. Bi means 2. So you will have only 2 numbers. 0 and 1 will be there. So 32-bit logical address means it is a combination of ones and zeros. You will have 32 bits means you will have the combination of ones and zeros, 32 ones and zeros. Either you can have all zeros, or else you can have all ones, or else you can have all the combination of ones and zeros. 32 ones and zeros, or else all 32 will be zeros and all 32 will be ones. So what they have designed here, so like this, there will be simply 32 numbers will be there, 32 numbers, zeros and ones will be there. So right now 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this. You will have 32 numbers. I am not separating this. They have designed like this. X in the X plus you can keep 1, or else you can keep 0, or the combination of ones and zeros. Okay. So this is how they have understood the IP address. Okay, that is good. So, but the point is whether humans will understand this numbering system. So if I say that you need to hop a bus, for example, there is a passenger who is sitting beside me, or also who is at the bus stop, and he asked me that I want to go to some XYZ location. What is the bus number? So if I say 127 is the number that you have to hop, easily he will understand. Why? Because that is normally human understandable language. 127 is the decimal format which will be understandable by the humans. But despite of that, if I say that you have to hop 111111 if I say like this, you have to hop a bus which is having the number as number in the binary format 111111. This is the binary number of the bus you have to hop. So what the opposite person will do? Obviously, he is going to beat me. Okay, or else he is going to see me like a mad person. So what is this numbering convention? 111111. Why you are saying this? What is the meaning of this? So, and again, you are saying it as a binary number format. What is this binary number format? I don't know. So simply say me, what is the number that I can understand? So I have to say that you have to hop 127 number. So if you want to convert this, what is the number that I have given here? Try to understand this. Binary to decimal converter, I have given 111111. If you convert that number, 111111. So how many numbers are there? 3 plus 4. Okay. When I convert this, what is the number that I got? 127. If I say the same to the passenger in the binary format, he is going to beat me like anything. But if I say in the decimal number format, he will understand that. So the IP address should be, so whenever any network engineer asks me, so what is the IP address of your computer? What is the IP address of your computer? For example, if I say like this, 11000000. So 11000000 dot. So I can simply say that what I can say here, and again in the binary format only, again I am going to say, obviously he is going to beat me like trash. So I cannot say like this. So I have to say in a human understandable language that 192.168.1.0 or else 192.168.1.100. This is the IP address of my computer. So here, the whatever the IP address is there, the IP address will be completely in the binary format. Now what we have to do, that binary number should be converted as a decimal number format. So obviously we are going to convert that to the decimal number format. Anyways, so this 32-bit, whatever the 32-bit IP address is there, they have divided the 32-bit into 4 portions. So majorly the numbers will be, or else the data will be termed in what sizes, or else if I have to specify the size of a song, 4 MB, if I have to specify a size of a movie, some 10 GB, If I have to specify a size of a file, 1 KB, 10 KB. So here B means what is meant by B? KB. KB. B in the sense, what is meant by B?
Byte.
So how many bits will be there in a byte?
8.
8 bits. So if you divide 32 bits into four different portions, how many bits you will get per each portion? 32 divided by 4.
8.
8.
So each portion will be having a size of 1 byte. So this is called as an octet. In the IP address, whatever the 32 bits are there, every 32 bits, the 32 bits are divided into 4 portions, and each portion will have 8 bits, and each portion is called as an octet. Here it is called as octet. Okay, so this is how the numbers will be there. Now, what is the range of your IP address, IPv4 address? So IPv4 will be starting from 0. Why? Because so if I convert, if I map like this 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you want to convert this all zeros, what is the decimal number format that you are going to get? All zeros means obviously 0 into anything will be 0 only. You are going to get the value as 0 only. So the decimal number format, the starting IP address will be 0. The starting IP address will be the IPv4 addresses will be starting with the 0 number. And what is the last number? The maximum, the highest number will be all ones. In the binary format, if at all, if there are all ones. So here there are 8 ones. Why there are only 8 ones? Sorry, as you said, the 32 bits, but the 32 bits are divided into 4 portions. In each portion, you will have 8 ones. So if I am having 8 ones, so what is the value that is going to have come? 255. So the IP address will be ranging from 0 to 255 only. You are not going to get any number after 255. You don't get 256th value. 256 decimal number will not be there in the IP address. You will have only 255. Sir, after 255, the next octet will be incremented. For example, 0, there is an IP address like this. Try to understand. Actually, this IP address won't be there, but 0.0.0.0. This is the first IP address. 0.0.0.1 second, 0.0.0.2. 0. Actually 0 with starting with 0, you won't have the IP address. But for your understanding, I'm saying 0.0.0.255 is there. After 255, you will get the 256 number. Are you able to get the 256 number?
No.
No.
No, then what has to be happened? 0.0.1.0.
1.2.
1.0, which means that this first number will be incremented. For example, what are the decimal numbers? How many decimal numbers will be there? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After 9, so you will have 1, 0. Again, 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 3, like that it is going to be incremented. So up to 1, 9. Here also what is going to be happen? Up to 0.0.1.255 you got. After that, so after 19, what is going to happen? 20. So here also you will have 0.0.2.0.
2.
Okay. So up to how many numbers? For example, here somewhere like 90, 91, 92, 93, and so on up to 99. After that, 100, 100 will be coming. Again, the repetition, the loop will be repeated. Here also, you will have 0.0.2.255, and finally you will have 0.0.255.255. After this, 0. What is going to happen?
1.
1.0.0. This is what going to be happen. Up to 0.255.255.255. After this,
1.0.0.0.
So this is how your IP addresses will be there. So this is how your IP addresses will be there up to 255.255.255.255. This is the last IP address. So 0.0.02 255.255.255. If you compare all these numbers, if you combine all these numbers, you are going to get for an IP address, in an IP address, you are going to have 4.2 billion IP addresses, which means that 420 crores of IP addresses will be there. Okay, so anyways, that's fine. Now we are going to assign the IP address to our computers. For example, here I am going to assign an IP address to my computer. I will assign like 192.168.1.100. This is the IP address which I am assigning to my computer. And if you see here, I am going to assign one more IP address to the another computer as 192.168.2.100. Okay, I am going to assign one more IP address like 192.168 some 3.100. I am going to assign one more IP address like 192.168 some 4.100. Now, the point what I want to ask you here is whether all these computers are in the same network or different network. Whether the computers belongs to the same network or different network. Physically, if you say they are in the same network. For example, so you are a student of DURGASOFT. When anybody asks you, you say that you are a student of DURGASOFT. Physically, you are in DURGASOFT only. But in DURGASOFT, we are having multiple courses. We are having AWS, we are having Python, we are having Java, we are having Azure, we are having somewhere like what I can say, Node.js, AngularJS, like that. So DURGASOFT, by physically you are in the DURGASOFT only, but logically you are in which network? You are in the AWS network. So which means that the students of AWS will not communicate with the students of Python, obviously, yes or no? So physically you are in the same, but if you go for logical thinking, logically you are in the different network. In the same manner, by looking into this, how you can say, for example, I have allocated you the ID card number as AWS 001. For a computer also, you are going to assign the IP address like this, 192.168.1.1. So here the 1.1 or else I will tell you about this. And AWS 002. This is the second student ID. For the second computer, what I can assign is 192.168.1.2. AWS 003. For the third computer, 192.168.1.3. So how you can say this? These students belongs to which particular class? Can you say this? These students belongs to which class?
AWS.
AWS. By looking into this, AWS is constant. Here you can see AWS, the word or else the pattern AWS is constant. So you are saying that the students belongs to AWS. But by looking into this IP addresses, can you tell me these computers belongs to this particular network? Are you able to see this? Actually, the point is, with our human brains, we can understand one thing. As we have the human brains, we can calculate, we can assume that, okay, these students belongs to AWS class. But here what you need to understand, depending upon the computers won't have the brains. The computers cannot think. Computers will take the input from the users and provide the output for the users. So whatever the computers do, whatever the computer process the data, first the data has to be provided by the user. Unless if the user doesn't provide the data, the computers will not understand. So in the same manner, so if by looking into this IP address, the computer will not accept only IP address. Computers will not understand the IP address only. With the IP address, we need to provide one more thing that is called as subnet mask. If we don't provide the subnet mask, the computers will not understand the IP addresses. For example, let me do one thing. Here, I will assign my IP. I will assign an IP address to my computer. Let me do. Go to the properties. TCP/IP version 4 properties. Here, if I provide only IP address, here you can see the column is IP address column. I will provide only IP address 192.168.1.100. If I click OK, see that you have entered an address that is missing the subnet mask. Please add a subnet mask. So computers definitely require subnet mask. Why they require the subnet mask? Based on the subnet mask only, computers will understand the IP address belongs to which network. If the computers has to think, or else if the computers has to understand the IP addresses, first of all, they need to have the subnet mask. Without subnet mask, you will not able to understand the IP addresses. Am I clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what is meant by subnet mask? What is meant by a subnet mask? Subnet mask is also a 32-bit address. Is also a 32-bit address. But which will specify the network and host portion of the IP addresses. Network and host portion of the IP addresses. Okay. First of all, you need to understand this. In this student roll numbers, which one is the network portion and which one is the host portion? Suppose there are some 100 students are there. So under that, what will be the network portion and what will be the host portion? Here you can simply say this AWS is constant. So whatever is constant, that is called as a network portion. What is changing? The roll numbers will be changing. That is called as a net host portion. The roll numbers, how the roll numbers will be changing depending on the number of students. In my class, if there are 10 students are there, the roll numbers will be 1 to 10. If there are 100 students, the roll numbers will be 1 to 100. If there are some 1000 students, the roll numbers will be 1 to 1000. So what is changing? Depending on the number of students, the numbers are changing. But before that, before the roll numbers, what is constant? What is constant, guys?
Network.
The network is constant. Whatever the AWS is constant. In the same manner, here you can see whenever, so what it is saying, which will specify the network, and host is nothing but number of devices that can be configured in that network. How many number of devices can be added in that network is described by the host portion. So how we are going to decide that? So in subnet mask, one value is generally the subnet mask will be looking like this: 255.0.0.0, 255.255.0.0, 255, 255, 255.0. This is the default subnet mask. Okay. So again, in subnet mask, one value is called as a network bit. It will represent the network. And 0 value is host bit. One value is the network bit and 0 value is the host bit. Now it is your turn. You have to say this. In this subnet mask, how many networks will be there and how many hosts will be there? If you convert this decimal number format into the binary number format, in which octet you will be having ones and in which octet you will be having zeros?
8 networks and 3 hosts.
8 network bits and 24 host bits.
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I can say here, one network octet, this 255 represent the one network octet, and how many host octets are there? 3 host octets, which means that, for example, I am having an IP address like this 10.1.1.100 with the subnet mask as 255.0.0.0, and there is one more IP address like 10.2.1.100 with the subnet mask as 255.0.0.0. Now, can you tell me whether these two IP addresses belongs to the same network or different network?
Different network.
They belongs to
Same network.
same network. So how we are going to say here, you can see in this subnet mask, we are having one network portion. What is a subnet mask? Subnet mask will identify the network portion of the IP address. So subnet mask is saying that, so as per the user given, the user is given that the first octet is the network octet. So the IP address first octet is also the network octet only. So it should be constant. So what will be changing here? The 3 octets numbers will be changing. It is like your student numbers, which are going to be changed. Okay. So whenever the subnet mask is like this, how many number of devices, like how many students that are going to be joined in my class? In the same manner, how many computers I can add here is total number of host bits. How many total number of host bits are there?
24.
24 host bits. So how many devices can be added here is 2 to the power of 24 minus 2. That is equal to 1,67,77,216 minus 2 devices can be configured. Why we are giving minus 2? You will come to know about that. But as of now, we are going to get 1 crore devices. You can calculate this. So, and the next IP address is like this: 172.16.1.100. Subnet mask is 255.255.00. 172.17.1.some200. Subnet mask is 255.255.00. Can you tell me whether they belongs to the same network or different network?
Same network, sir.
You have to come again. They belongs
Same
to
network,
the
sir.
they belongs to the different network. How? Here, how many network octets are there in the subnet mask? How many network octets are there? In the subnet mask, how many network
16 networks, sir.
16 network bits. How many octets? There are 2 octets. So the subnet mask is saying that in the IP address also you need to have the 2 network portions. This 2 belongs to the network portion. Here also this 2 belongs to the network portion. Now can you see here the first network portion is same, but what about the second network portion? But what about the second network portion? Whether it is same or different? There you can see you are having 16 and below you are having 17. So which means that they are in the different network. They are in the different network. We don't need to find out the remaining 2. Why? Because they are the host portions, the devices portions. They can be changing. They have to change. Actually, one IP address should not be there for the another IP address. Okay. So, but the network portion should be same. Here you can see 192.172.16.1.0. This is in one network, and 172.17 1.200. This is in the second. This is in the different network. Why? Because here the second octet, here you are having 16. Here in the second octet you are having 17. So that is the reason the 2 IP addresses belongs to the different network. And the last one. So here, how many host portions are there? Here you can see 2 to the power of 16 bits. Okay, minus 2, that is equal to 65,536 minus 2. So total number of host bits. Here you are having 16 host bits. So you are going to get these many number of devices can be configured in the network, which is having the subnet mask looking like this. Okay. And the next one is, for example, 192.168. Some 100.100, 255, 255, 255.0, 192.168, some 200 dot some 200. Subnet mask is 255, 255, 255.0. Now, can you tell me whether they belongs to the same network or different network?
Belongs to same network, sir.
Again, how many network portions are there? How many network portions are there in the subnet mask?
3.
3 network portions. So in the IP address, how many network octets will be there? How many network octets will be there in the IP address?
3.
3.
3 octets.
As you are having 3 subnet masks in the network portions also, you will have 3. So first 3 are same or different in both the IP address. So here you can say 192.168, 192.168. They are common. But what about the third network portion? Whether it is same or different?
Different.
That means they belongs to?
Not same network. Belongs to
the
different.
different network. So this is how you can simply say that whether the IP addresses belongs to the same network or different network. Okay, so by looking into the subnet mask only, you can simply say that whether the IP addresses belongs to the same network or different network. So that is why subnet mask is very, very important in your networking concept. So can you tell me how many devices I can create inside this particular subnet mask? If the subnet mask is looking like this, how many devices I can create? So 2 to the power of how many host bits are there? How many
24.
host bits?
8.
8.
8. Only one host portion is there. 8, that is equal to 256 minus 2, that's equal to 254 devices. So if you are having 255, 255, 255.0, then we can create 254 devices. As I am having 8 host bits, sorry, 8 host bits, I can create 254 devices. If at all, if I have to specify the slash value, so in the companies, they won't give you the subnet mask. So network engineers or cloud engineers, they will not provide the subnet mask. When we are going to create the VPCs also, we are not going to create the VPCs with the subnet mask. We are directly going to create the VPCs with the slash values. Here, what is meant by a slash value? Slash value will represent number of network bits in subnet mask. So can you tell me how many number of network bits are there in this subnet mask? 255.0.0.0. How many number of network bits are there? Network bits, guys. 255 means if you convert that into the binary format, how many ones you will get? So if you convert 255, 8 ones. So here, how many total, what is the number that you can provide? /8 value. Slash means, /8 means the subnet mask will be 255.0.0.0. So here, what is the slash value? /16. Why? Because in the first octet, you are having 8 network bits. In the second octet, you are having 8 network bits, totally 16. So if at all, if the subnet mask is 255, 255, 255.0, then how many networks we will get?
24.
So the slash value will be
24.
/24. So why I am specifically saying this? Because when you go to the VPC configuration, whenever you are going to create the VPC, here you need to mention I am not going to give any name. So test. Here you have to mention 192.168.0.0/16. Like this, you have to mention the CIDR. At this particular point, we are providing /16. /16 means what is the subnet mask? What is the subnet mask? /16 means
255.255.
255.255.0.0. So total
Yeah.
number of devices, how many devices can be created inside a VPC? In a VPC, we can create 65,536 servers, if possible, if we want. So that is the reason why I am specifically stressing on this particular concept. Until unless so there is no necessity of learning networking, I won't say that. So there is a necessity of learning networking. That is the reason why I am specifically stressing out on this particular topic. Am I clear with this? Any questions, any doubts?
No, sir.
Up to now about the network concept, any doubts? Okay, so now each and every company doesn't require 250 IPs. Each and every company don't want, so for example, if I go to 255, 255, 255.0, then I will get 256 networks, sorry, 256 devices. But in every company, you will have 250 devices. You won't have that. So if at all, if I am going for this, then there will be a loss of, so misuse of IP addresses will be there. To overcome this problem, we are going with a concept called as subnetting that you will learn in the next class. Okay. Am I clear with this concept about the networking? Why? Because it is very important for you in the AWS. Whenever you want to learn the AWS, the first and foremost topic that we are going to start is VPC configuration. To understand the VPC configuration, definitely you need to work on with this networking concept. Tomorrow you will learn about the subnetting concept. Tomorrow in the sense Saturday. Tomorrow you are having the class. Okay. Am I clear with this? Any questions?
No, sir.
Fine then. That's all from my end. And again, I am repeating this point. So the classes will be from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Actually, this 6 p.m. batch is going to be merged into the 5 p.m. batch. So the class timings will be 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and the class duration will be 45 working days. Not only that, you need to understand one more thing here is 45 working days will be the sessions. Monday to Friday will be the sessions. Okay, not Saturday. As we are going with the demos, you are having a Saturday class also. But after next week onwards, from Monday onwards, you will be having the class on Monday to Friday. So yeah, 45 to 50 sessions of the class will be there. And we are going to cover the entire network administration, and as well as we are going to cover the what I can say, developer perspective services like Elastic Beanstalk, EKS, ECR, Lambda functions, and then we will be working on with some of the another concepts also. Okay, so that's all from my end. Have a nice day and bye. And you will get the videos every day to day. You will get the videos. Don't worry about that.
So tomorrow class timing?
Same 6 o'clock in the evening.
6.
Sir, when is class time is 5?
Sorry. From next Monday onwards. From Monday onwards, your class timings will be at 5 o'clock.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So tomorrow will be the last demo session. So if you consider them as a demo sessions, tomorrow will be the last demo session. So as per my perspective, we have already started. Whenever you attend the first demo, then from them only we have started the classes. So tomorrow will be the last demo, and those who has enrolled for the sessions, you will be getting a special what I can say link, go to meeting link, and if you join in through that, you will be attending to the sessions. Zoom link, this Zoom link will be expired by tomorrow. But tomorrow also you can use the same Zoom link. From Monday onwards, the Zoom link is about to change to go to meeting link. You will get it through the email address. Okay, whatever the email address that you have provided at the time of registration, you will get it out. And please be very confidential, and please be very genuine. So provide the genuine mobile numbers. We are not going to harass you with the calls, but yes, you will get a confirmation call from the DURGASOFT as you have enrolled for the course and you have paid this fees. You are going to join to the sessions, and if there are any updates, you will get the updates from the DURGASOFT. Okay, that's it. So you can ask your questions.
No, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for the session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye, sir.